Simply Fujica, a place for budding and aspiring entrepreneurs. If you are new to this channel, I definitely want to welcome you and thank you for stopping by. My name is Fujica and I serve this community as a business mentor, and I help people to achieve obtaining their non-medical home care agency licenses. If you have been to this channel a few times before, then I would ask that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time I drop a new video. Okay, so today we are doing part 2 of a 2-part series on business documents. So last week, really quickly, I just kind of walked you through what are some suggested documents for your employees. Today we're talking about documents that you really need to stand up in order to operate your business. So if that's something you're interested in, and I hope it is, then stay tuned. The first form that I have for you today is a prospect inquiry form. Now this form is really important to your agency because by now you have already put together a robust marketing plan. So as people call in and really start to inquire about your agency and what services you offer, you want to know how they heard about you. So that's what this prospect inquiry form does. It tracks who's calling in, what is their name, what is their contact information, and how they heard about you. So depending on what that is, as soon as you start having a lot of calls, really over time you can really start building out trends. So that will tell you which one of your marketing efforts are working, where do you want to put more energy, maybe where do you want to pull some energy from. It's really giving you a snapshot of what marketing efforts are working for you. Okay. The second part of it is sometimes people do call you and they're not really interested in securing the services just yet. They may have to, get some finances together. They may be waiting for a couple of situations to see their way through. So for whatever reason, they're not ready yet to start services. That's okay. When can you follow up with them? And so if that person tells you, hey, I should know more in a couple of weeks, I should have more information in a month, then that's where you want to go ahead and take that time to schedule an appointment for yourself in Microsoft to ensure that you're following up with these prospects. You spend a lot of energy and probably money to garner these prospects. So you want to make sure that you are working them to the best of your ability to convert them to actual clients. I did want to mention, I did a previous video on what goes in your marketing folder, what goes into your clients folder as you onboard them. So I'll make sure that's included in the resources portion of this video. For today's purposes, we won't be discussing those documents. It's really more about what does it take for you to operate on a day-to-day basis. So I wanted to kind of throw that in there really quickly. So the second form that we're going to discuss is your client contact form. Now, if you know, or once you know that this person is signing up for you, now you want more information. You want their address, you want their phone number, who's their emergency contact, who is their doctor. You want all of that information, so when you pull that client up, you have all that information in front of you. So you want to make sure that this is thorough and you have all of the right numbers for everyone who would be concerned that your client's comfortable with, would be concerned with your client's care. The third form that I have for you today is a client assessment. So whenever you are actually invited into the customer's home, you really want to make sure that you have an actual formal form so that you can conduct a client assessment. This is how you're going to understand what the actual client needs. And so you won't understand that until you start talking about those things, talking about those actual services that your home care agency is going to be taking care of on behalf of the client. So I also say this too, because this will help with your cost structure. Because typically your services, you're going to have a baseline cost, right? But as you perform the client assessment, this is going to help you understand how you need to tailor their services, which will be a big input into what you're actually charging that client based on that assessment. I will say this, and I think I did a YouTube short on this a while ago. What if that client doesn't want to do an assessment form? Or maybe the previous home care agency did an assessment form. Listen, we're not in the business to make anybody do anything. You do want to make sure that it is heavily documented though. that a person is not willing to do another assessment, we don't want to accept anyone else's work as our own. So you can actually check off on your own assessment plan what are those services the client is saying that they need. You want to make sure somewhere on there, in lieu of assessment, client is verbally stating maybe wants these certain services, and then come up with your fee there. Either way, you want to make sure that you have a client assessment form. Number 4, naturally, is going to be your client care plan. Now, listen, the care plan is really an official document of what services you're rendering for that client. So, how are you taking care of them? What tasks or duties are you doing? Is there a certain schedule? So, you really want to make sure that you're able to show or illustrate what care you're providing for that client. So, your care plan is really based on what was discussed during the assessment, your answer to what that client needs. So you want to make sure that your home care aide, your client, everyone who is in the know with regards to this client, that the client has a copy of it, and then of course your home care aide is aware of it, so that we know what care we're delivering to that client. I also like to do this because we should be, if possible, okay, and when it's an option, there should be some goals to the care. Sometimes it's care until it's no longer required, right? Which is fine. But if there's some type of goal that you're getting to, you want to pull that care plan out maybe every 30, 60, 90 days to see, hey, how are we doing? If you're seeing a great level of success, you want to shout that to the mountaintops, right? Because this is showing that your care has been instrumental in really helping this person come to another level, right? Or maybe return to regular capacity in terms of utilizing a limb or whatever the goal is. But you see what I'm saying here? It's really showing that your agency is making a difference, a positive difference in this client's life. So you really want to share those type of things. Because again, I always love to say, this is a word of mouth business. And so as you are doing great things for your client, as you are reaching your goals, as your client is doing better as a result of the care they're receiving, they're telling people. They're telling people. Anyone who would ask them, hey, I heard you have someone coming in to take care of you. Who is that? And then so that will allow that person to really brag on you and your business as they create that potential referral for you. So last but not least is your contract or your agreement. Now, I will say this. Sometimes people want to create contracts. I think I've shared with you several times. I just prefer agreement. What is the agreement that you and the client have come to? So you want to make sure there are no gray areas and there are no assumptions, because now we're talking about money, right? So you want to make sure the two parties are in agreement in terms of the amount and when it's due, and then what is the method of the payment that you're going to be receiving on whatever cadence you decide. Okay, so you just want to make sure you're clear here, and so this is kind of up to you too. I always just like to kind of add this as an added benefit or as an added bonus if it were me, because remember, potentially our clients are on a fixed income. So if and when they fall behind, it's going to be very difficult for that person to catch back up, because again, their income is not changing. It's fixed and they have other bills. So you want to make sure you cover yourself at the top of this agreement, which means, are you asking for a deposit? Does that deposit include just the first week, month, however you're going to be billing that person? Is it the first and last? So these are things that you have to discuss and come up with as an agency. This is how you're going to protect yourself. Okay, well listen, I did want to add really quickly, because I did not say it at the beginning, all of the documents that I have, I created through either Excel, Microsoft Word. So you can start with Googling, hey, can you give me an example or a sample of a care plan? And what I saw is sometimes I didn't like this from this one, but I love this from that one. It's really about making sure that it works for you and your agency. When it comes to contracts, when it comes to agreements, anything with legal language, then that's where I brought in Rocket Lawyer. Okay, so I'll make sure the link to that is also included in the video description. Guys, that's all I have for you today. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you're notified each and every time I release new content. Guys, that's all I have for you today. Stay blessed. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a passion for caring for others and you're trying to figure out how to turn that passion into a business? Well, I have the course just for you. My name is Fujica and I am just launching Fujica's Home Care Academy. I want you to join me in Sacramento this upcoming October, where I teach you how to actually get your license in the state of California, as well as operating your non-medical home care agency as a profitable business. Go ahead and look out for the link in the video description below. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I hope to see you soon.